Welcome to ClemsonNEXT, the strategic plan for the development of the City of Clemson. This is the first in a series of videos intended to engage with you and get your input on how you want to grow and develop moving forward. I'm Matt Wetley, Urban Planner and Principal at Development Strategies. I'll be your team leader through this process, and over the next several months, we're going to enter into a dialogue where we provide a lot of information and get your input and work toward a series of strategies to help the city grow in a way that you all as a community want it to. The City of Clemson has experienced an unprecedented amount of growth in recent years, most visibly with large apartment buildings. And so the City Council has declared a moratorium, effectively a pause, on this kind of development. As you will see in this process, these apartment buildings are really indicators of growth pressures in this community, which are driven by a whole host of factors. So this pause really represents an opportunity to take stock of your community and really think carefully about how you want to grow in the future and set policies and tools in place to help actualize that. Now, in order to get your feedback in this process, there's going to be several ways for you to participate, and we want to share those with you. But first, we want to talk a little about what a strategic plan is, what this plan is specifically, what the process will be, and then lastly, share with you some of those ways to contribute.
A strategic plan is really about two things. First, it's about resources. Every community only has so many resources in terms of money, time, and energy. A strategic plan seeks to ask those questions about how you want to move forward and then create an intentional plan about how to get there. It's also about adapting to changing circumstances. Every organization needs to take stock from time to time about how the world has changed around them, how they're changing from within, and how they want to address that. A strategic plan seeks through dialogue to develop a set of priorities that will help a community adapt to change.
This plan will emphasize three key elements that are greatly impacted by growth and development in the City of Clemson. Inclusivity, which is about who gets to participate in this community. Place, which is about the physical characteristics and quality of life of your community. And resiliency, which is how adaptive your economy is to changing circumstances. Once we get your input on these critical elements, we can start building a plan. Now, there's a lot of details to the process of this plan, but just keep this in mind. We need to see this community through your eyes. What's working? What's not? What is your experience every day? And equally important, we need you to see this community through our eyes as city planners.
A plan fundamentally asks two questions. What do you want it to be, and what can it be? The first question is targeted toward you, the community. It relies on your community knowledge. The second part, asking what can the community be, is really focused on planning team knowledge. It considers things like urban design, public policy, economics, market analysis, placemaking, and best practices. What follows then is a dialogue of education, feedback, presentation of alternatives that will work toward a plan that makes for a more prosperous future that's aligned with the goals of the community.
When we engage, it'll be with three key groups. First is you, the public, and our approach to engagement there is the more the merrier. The second is the client team. And third is the steering committee. This is the group that we're going to roll up our sleeves with and work on solutions to the challenges that we collectively identify through dialogue. And as you'll hear from your committee chair, your input could not be more important to the committee.
There are two main roles the committee is fulfilling in this process. First, we are acting as a sounding board to the planning team from Development Strategies. As you can imagine, with the circumstances surrounding COVID-19, we have spent a great deal of time planning for and adapting to those circumstances by creating this video-based public engagement process. Second, and most importantly, we are the conduit to you, the public. Your input is the most vital ingredient in this process. At the end of the process, we will have a plan that outlines recommendations and strategies that will help us be the community we wish to be as we continue to grow and change. We understand that conversations around development can be challenging and sometimes uncomfortable, and we're committed to ensuring that all voices are heard and that our collective voice as a community is reflected in the final product. We need your best thinking and your best thoughts, and appreciate greatly your willingness to participate in this process.
So like Bob said, your input is so important, and there's going to be lots of ways for you to plug in over the course of this process.
The first way to participate is to watch all of the project videos as they become available. These first 6 describe the plan, who's involved, and unpack the key issues the strategic plan will address. Later, videos will present development scenarios and strategy options. As a follow-on to each video, we'll ask you to take a brief survey to get your input on the issues presented in the videos. Later in the process, after we present strategy options and the development scenarios, there will be another more detailed survey where we get your reactions to the options. We'll also be holding roundtable discussions to deep dive specific issues like housing, small business, traffic and transportation, and the displacement pressures in some of Clemson's neighborhoods. Last but not least, we'll be posting updates and information on the project website. You can also sign up for email updates so you can be sure you hear the latest news about the process.
Right now, what we need you to do is watch these videos, take the surveys, let us know what you think. And in later phases, we'll take this and we'll start building strategies around this to better serve you as a community. On behalf of myself, our planning team, and the entire steering committee, we look forward to hearing from you.